Calm after the storm. Suffocation just took over the crazy donkey. Joe Shifton here for Hornstar Rocks. Brother, thank you so much for what you guys have been doing for the last 20 years. Who has been destroying and representing not just death metal, but New York and Long Island especially, the true way, man.
That's right, man. You know, we never knew that it would, 20 years is hard to foresee when you're 17 years old thinking that, yeah, we're going to still be killing it, this grimy it. But it came quick. It's, and we're still feeling our oats. We still got the strength to do it. So, it seems as though that the new generation of kids are appreciating, what we did. So with that said, we want to continue teaching the lesson as long as we can, and keep it moving.
And every time you guys play, what I always find out is that everybody else in the crowd is working out, but you guys make it seem like it's easy. I mean, of course, you're tired right now, as you were saying before, but you make it seem pretty easy. I mean, especially, you're behind the drums of Suffocation, which is probably one of the fastest, most technical death metal bands out there. And it is one of those things that I see you and I'm tired, man.
Well, what I always say when anyone asks me about that is that the way we write our music, we don't write to be anybody else. You understand? So the music we play is what came natural to us to play it. So in turn, if you play that 500 times, 1,000 times, it's going to be, first it's easy because that's what's natural, but then add on the multiple times of playing it, and then before you know it, you can do it in your sleep. So if you're not trying to imitate another band, you don't have to work as hard.
And you guys never ever imitated anybody, because you can pretty much say the Suffocation are the pioneers of technical death metal. There was already death metal when you guys came out, but as far as the technicality of it, you guys are the kings of that.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad to take that. We'll take that crown if they want to give it to us. As long as there's, you can always go back and find the proof. As long as you can go back to a record and find where it was and where it started and how it was, there's no need to deny it or fight it or anything like that. I'm fine with that, and we're still trying to get ours though, we've influenced a lot, we've done a lot, and we're still trying to just make sense out of the industry. The fans and the bands in this know the score. They know what's happening. It's just the industry doesn't know still that extreme music and that whole side of living is relevant and worth the money. But we'll get it. We'll see what happens, man.
Well, yeah, it's been a learning process nevertheless, especially nowadays, as you guys said on stage, it's such a hard time right now to get people in a room, but the fact that we're able to, have as many, whether it's, and I know, especially coming from New York, we're all very humble, so if it's 5,000, if it's 20,000, doesn't matter. It's always about giving the best that you can. And what I always, since I first heard Suffocation many years ago, what I really about Suffocation is that it had a very strong message. It wasn't just like, like a lot of death metal out there gets confused a little bit, but I think Suffocation has always had a certain purpose within the scene. And I think, as you were saying before, you were not trying to sound like anybody else, and then that's how you created your own, right. Your own sound.
Right. Well, that's if you want to be comfortable, like I say, you got to find it in yourself, That's the fun part of writing in music, is knowing that all these bands are out there, which it's a lot harder now because there's 1,000 death metal bands now, and it's hard to come up with something that wasn't done. Luckily for us, when we were in it, there were a certain type of bands out there. You knew when you heard Death, you knew when you heard Carcass, you knew when you heard Morbid Angel. All of them are different. They all had a different style. There was room for a Suffocation to come and do something different. Nowadays, it's a lot harder, but it's worth the effort. If you're really that good and you really have the drive for it, and you can come out and do something different and still be considered death metal, we're waiting on you. Right. We deserve it. You deserve it. Get it.
And as far as obviously Blood Oath was a good record for you guys, and what's in the pipeline right now? When can people expect the next Suffocation, or the next chapter of Suffocation?
The next chapter of Suffocation is going to be the DVD. We're not, the records are nice, but records don't sell these days. There's no secret to that. Anyone watching this is a fan and know that they probably got the music without going out and buying a CD. So CDs isn't the way right now. And I really am strong on that. There's a lot of bands who want to just do it because they got the chance to do it, but we've been there, done that. And we know that to go out and put your hard work on a CD, put it out, and it don't get the push that it needs, that takes a couple years off a musician's life. That doesn't just happen overnight to write that shit and still be relevant. So until the industry catches on and understands that we are the artists and you need us in order for you to be the industry, we're going to hold up a minute. We're not going to rush it now. Our name is never going to die. It's here. They know who we are. So we had a DVD that we've been promising for a couple of years now. We're going to wait until that's out, get everybody's water in their mouth running, because it really is going to be sick. It's not even like the DVD concept we started. It's more like a movie now. So it's called Legacy of Violence, and it's at the tail end of being done right now. And I know we've been saying that for a long time, but that's the truth. That's the way the industry is. You can't, rush things, or you'll be right back in the studio again next month doing something else. So we wanted to make sure that this was good enough to hold its own, have longevity, which would give us time to breathe and write music the way we want to write music. So the album will wait, but Suffo isn't going anywhere. We're just sitting back to watch what the industry does before we waste any more of our precious time and effort. It's hard to write if you're not 100% happy, if your pockets aren't right. You see that in the music that you write. So we'll wait till we feel it, till we miss it, and then we'll come out strong again.
As far as touring, because obviously this is a one-off show, hometown show. You guys did New York City at Santos Party House recently as well. And obviously the people all over the world love Suffocation, so where can I expect like let's say a global tour?
Not until the tour comes to us that is something we haven't done yet. Because we did a lot of touring, and we've taken out a lot of bands. Bands who were never anything are now doing their thing on the strength of Suffocation, taking them out and pushing it. Now, we need that. And we're not looking for death metal bands to take us. We need whoever is going to take the whole scene to the next level. Okay? Right. Put us on those shows now. We've done our 2 decades. You can't tell us anything about we don't deserve it because this band here is the hottest. No. That band that you're saying is the hottest will easily tell you that they got influence from us. So with that said, give us our time before we get too tired and burnt out to even care, and we'll take those tours. But right now, we're not trying to do the piggyback where we're bringing out the next best teenage band along with us. We've done that, and every band knows we've done it. So we'll sit tight, because it's hard to fuel a bus right now. It's hard to fuel your car right now. So imagine the promoters are cutting the prices of what they pay now because nobody's working, everybody's suffering. Those are our fans. They're suffering. They don't come to shows. Promoters cut your pay. So it doesn't make sense anymore to go out for a month or 6 weeks because you come back in debt. That's not an option we have. That's not an option we have. I have a house, and I need to keep my house. And if I come back worse than I left, it makes no sense. So we'll stay home. We'll answer all the questions anyone asks. We're still here, but we're waiting on the industry to make sense.
But it's pretty clear, and I'm glad you're answering this because I have heard a little rumor here and there. I'm sure you have too, seen it through the internet, websites, all that stuff, that they say that you guys might be over. And I always tell people, Suffocation is never going to be over. Suffocation, first of all, it's a legacy. They have influence, as you said, so many bands. And, you're just waiting for that next level. And I think when you guys do come out, let's say in a couple of years, 2012, 13, with a new album, it's going to be, again, everybody's going to be, like maybe a 25th anniversary thing that you guys come out with, and it's going to be very strong, not only here in the area, but it's going to be a worldwide phenomenon. And that's what you guys deserve, man, honest. Not just because you're here, bro, but to me, Suffocation is like, out there with like all the other bands that you see doing it already, but you guys have never compromised anything.
That's it. And we're hoping that eventually, we thought by now, everyone would have seen that already, that the lack of compromising should get you to the top. That's perseverance. And we're there. We have our respect. We have our complete respect in the whole genre and in music. Our name isn't dying. It's a brand now. And, and I think because it's a brand and we know that the name will always be there, we can afford now to sit back, raise our kids, keep our wives happy by being home more, and hope on the industry catching on. That's it. We don't ask for no more. We're not asking anyone to jump through hoops. Just recognize that 30 years of death metal has been here and it's still here. So obviously it's not a fad and it's not disposable. So it's time now to give us ours. Rappers are making their money, making mad money, and then they're not here 2 years later. But they made mad money while they were here. They're disposable. We're not disposable. So let's get on with it. It's business now. This isn't. We're not playing in our parents' garages. We're not just touring to see the world and kiss on girls and this that. That's nice, but that does not pay my mortgage. Right now, I have a mortgage to pay. So, you know, we got to get serious. If they get serious, we're ready to come back out and do whatever we got to do. That's it.
We're gonna sign out from the Crazy Donkey, but rest assured that Suffocation is not going anywhere. They'll come back to the Donkey and to a town near you very soon. I want to thank you for, you know, kicking ass on stage. First and foremost, you know, everything else doesn't really matter. You guys have always represented when you get on that stage and you do it better than most. We're not gonna say that you are the best because that's a little arrogant, but you guys do your own thing.
I'm a humble person. I would feel funny if you said that to me, but I know we don't disappoint. We never go up there and disappoint. We don't cancel shows. We start tours. We finish tours. We help tours out that we're on. So as long as we do that and we keep that steady track record, I'm fine. Because the musicians who are outside of Suffocation will know. You can't just say whatever to us and make it stick unless it really sticks. You can go back to the crates and dig up shit, and you better be able to prove what you're talking. And that doesn't come up because in this genre, respect is first. It's a real genre. People are singing about real things, playing their hearts out, becoming supermen and women to play this stuff. And there's no funk. You can't fake it. There's no faking the funk. You can't say we were here before you and I play a little faster than you and that's my riff, because you know damn well there's a steady progress to how it evolved. And I think we've pushed the extreme to a good level where you really have to be intense to push it further.